here we are inside OptionNet Explorer, and I'll just walk you through some of the key functions, and then we'll put on a sample trade and we'll just walk that through. So first things first, we're showing here three strikes. We've got the September 4th, September 11th, September 18th. If we want to get rid of these weekly ones and just look at the monthlies, we can just get rid of that by going to configuration. And now we've just got the monthlies. Also here we can change how many option chains we want to see. I find 3 is pretty good. Okay, then what you want to do if you're starting a new trade or backtest is just to come in here and go start new trade, just to clear out anything from the trade log and start with a fresh slate. And then let's say we were going to do just a 15 delta iron condor. We would come in here, so October, 43 days to expiry. We haven't got a 15 delta, but it looks a bit funny with that 11 delta sitting in there. But let's use this one, or even the one. There we are, 155. So I think because of the split, we're getting some funky numbers there. And we'll go 5 points wide. So then we can start to see our trade getting built out on the right-hand side in that risk graph, and then on the put side, we'll do 195. So there's our sample condor that we can see here on the risk graph. We can left click and kind of move this around, and then on the bottom we can zoom out so that we can see everything. Now, when you see this green line, that's actually not the greatest looking condor because it's a bit skewed. So let's just see if we can change that a little bit. That's looking a little better. When we see the expiration line here as green, it just means we haven't confirmed these trades. So if we go forward by a day, it's not going to update because we haven't committed the trade. So we just have to go in here and commit the trade. That'll default to sort of the mid price, but you can change that to whatever price you were filled at, or whatever price you think is good or relevant, realistic. And then we'll just give the trade a name so that we can separate it out from anything else we've got going on. Or we could add it to an existing Apple, portfolio that we've got going on, but I'll just start a new one here. So we can go into our trade log. We can see here the details of the trade. This was the time it was made, all that sort of thing. We can adjust the commissions. We can adjust these individual prices if we need to by just clicking in and overriding the numbers. Very, very simple, and clicking save. So now that expiration line has turned blue. And we can see here we've got 3 interim dates. We can change that here. If we left click, you can't see it's just off on the other screen, but we can change it to 2 lines, or anywhere up to 5 lines, or just 1. Okay, I think 3 is pretty good, so that kind of splits it out evenly. We've got T plus 0, T plus 14, T plus 28. We can see how the trade's going to progress over time. All right, so then as we go through with our backtesting, we can go forward by a day, by an hour, or by 5 minutes. We can also use this play function, which will kind of do it automatically so that we don't have to click through each day, and we can adjust the speed. We can adjust the interval with which it moves forward. So here I usually just go through day by day if I'm doing a backtest. And you can see the trade progressing. So in the first day, Apple's been pretty flat. So as you'd expect with the Condor, showing a little bit of a profit. You can also see the profit and loss down here, and a P&L percentage based on the margin, capital at risk. And you can see what's happening with the stock price up here, and then all the options here. Also, if we want to change some of these columns, say we wanted to get our Vega number instead of delta. It's a little bit annoying that we can't add them all. I find it's slightly annoying, but we right click here, we can change this to theta, we can change it to Vega, but unfortunately you can only show one at a time, which is a little bit annoying. And we've also, as you can see, when we committed that trade, we've moved from model to a position. And then we've got our overall Greeks down the bottom here, our overall delta, gamma, theta, Vega, and we'll also see that on the risk graph here. We can see those numbers at the bottom there. And then as we move, if the stock goes down, you can see what happens to our P&L to our Greeks. Our Greeks are going to become positive delta as we're going down. If Apple goes up, we're going to start picking up negative delta. So quite good functionality there. Another good thing is, just check, you can see the price chart and volatility, not too much there. Movement analysis, I think, is the one I was thinking of. No, not that one's the one. Probability cone. Not a great example with Apple here because it's not being adjusted. The past prices are not being adjusted for the split, but you can kind of see down here the 1 standard deviation and the 2 standard deviation zones of probability as time progresses. So that's kind of handy. I'll try and show you a different example with a different stock. So there you have it. And then we can move forward day by day and we'll get updated. Maybe this was a public holiday, I'm not sure. And we can see here showing a profit. And you can see that trade just progressing over time. Then another cool function is you can look at your adjustment strategies. So let's say we're getting a little bit close here down to the puts. Let's say we want to roll these puts out. So we'd come in here, we'd buy this one back and sell that one. So we'd close out that and maybe we roll it down, or maybe we want to sell 2 of these, do a butterfly adjustment. Just roll those puts down. So you can see the before and after. It gets a little bit messy with these lines in here. If we change that to 1 line, you can kind of see the before and the after. So obviously rolling down and out, we're going to reduce the profit target a little bit, but we're moving our strikes further out, giving ourselves a little bit more margin for error. So that's just a really cool way as well to sort of visualize your adjustments. And then if you're going to go through with that adjustment, then you just, again, commit the trade, and then that would become your new graph that you'd be following along with. So that's quite cool. So really great tool for backtesting. It is a little bit manual in that you can't really do much automated testing. You've kind of got to step through the trades day by day and see how they go. But very, very helpful functionality. So we've got lots of different case studies in here on Apple. You can also create different accounts. So this is just a single account, but if I go into settings, I can then create a new account if I want to create a whole bunch of separate back tests. I haven't bothered doing that at this stage. You can also import from your broker, which I haven't really done either, but I think it's relatively straightforward. If you're pretty good with tech and APIs and that sort of thing, I'm sure that's pretty easy, but I haven't bothered doing that at this stage. But generally, it's a really good tool for testing out ideas and just going back through time and seeing how different strategies would have performed. I think that's all I can think of for now. I wanted to keep this fairly short and sweet, but if I think of anything else, I will do another video. I'll drop all the relevant links in the description here. If you want to try the software out, you can get a £1 trial for 30 days. So that's really, really worthwhile. You can get a lot of back testing done in that 30 days. And then you can just cancel if you don't want to continue on from there. All right, hope you enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments and I'll talk to you soon.